But hey, it's interesting we talk about CM Punk going to WWE. Because I think I was talking to you guys privately about this. I remember 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, but 2 years ago at least, I wanted everybody in AEW. All right, I was looking forward to anybody.
I think we all did, right?
WWE contract and going to AEW, right? And it seemed like all the wrestlers wanted to go there, right? You see a lot of guys, like Ali. I don't know where he wanted to go, but we were presuming he wanted to go to AEW. All the talent seemed like they wanted to go to AEW as well. But now, fast forward to modern times, it seemed like that's reverse, right? Right now, like for instance, like when Paige or Saraya came back, I'm like, man, I would love for her to go back to WWE, right? When Renee came back, I'm like, man, I would actually prefer her to go back to WWE. And I just didn't have that mindset a couple of years ago. And it seems like a lot of talent now is, in AEW. At least that's the scuttle booty, right? The scuttle booty is that these guys want to go over to back to WWE. You got the Andrade is unhappy. Malachi Black wanted to go back. Buddy wanted to go back. All these guys wanted to go back to the company. So my question to you guys is the grass greener on the WWE side, or what's happening?
And we saw that House of Black promo video last night. They ain't going back. Tony was like, look, we putting this promo video out. You guys are staying here. So shout out to the TK saying, nah, man, y'all here.
Y'all go here. So, Eshaun, to that question, I am so tired of the grass is greener, that proverbial phrase, the grass is greener on the other side. No, the grass is greener where you water it. That's just how it is. Now, as far as a couple years ago, you're right, absolutely. How many times did we say, oh, man, I can't wait till that contract is up over there in WWE because they're going to be that person there in AEW. So for me, I truly feel where the grass is greener, it really depends on the wrestler and what they want to achieve out of their career. When I look at WWE, I look at a larger platform. There's no doubt about it. More seasoned talent just all the way around. But the problem with that is you can also get lost in the shuffle with that. If you're someone who is just up and coming and you have those 6-7 people that I mentioned before who's at the top, it's kind of hard to kind of break through and break away. But on AEW side, you kind of have like the no script. So if you feel more comfortable with just going with it and not having to feel like you are completely scripted. Now, I don't know how much that is now with Triple H versus Vince, but I would still imagine that it's still some kind of baseline there of their scripts. And then with AEW, a lighter workload. I don't think they do house shows. I might be wrong there, but I don't think they do house shows. But once again, you can get lost in the shuffle there with booking.
Yeah, no house shows.
So I just really think it depends on the wrestler themselves, where they're at in their career and what their goals are. If they are somebody who want to shine bright, they just have to take into that. As far as money, I don't really think that's a factor. I think that money you can make on both AEW and WWE side. If I have to give the edge to it, I'm going to give the edge over to WWE just because now we have Triple H there at the top with that pocketbook, with that large grand scale. And lastly, again, wrestlers, I think, and I'm not a wrestler, but I think that they still feel that WWE is the major league. So I think if I had to pick between the grass is greener, which side, I still think that maybe WWE have that slight edge, but it really just comes down to what they want in their career.
I think too, the fun thing about that question is we could revisit that probably like every 60 days.
Right.
Because the answer was probably even different than what it was 45 days ago. There was a ton of issues backstage. I mean, hell, we heard AEW held 2 meetings in like a span of 30 days with the talent. So there were some issues there. And I am sure there's still a ton of talent that are unhappy. Eshaun, you brought up Starks, right? Man, hello, we're waiting. Where are you? Please, let's get that guy going. There's a lot of guys that I'm sure they're not happy with how much time they're not getting on TV. So they can look at that and say, man, I would love to go to WWE. It's funny because a year ago, I don't think there's anybody who would say, you know what, I want to go to WWE if they were in AEW. I do think that is flipped now. We know that WWE has a lot of the momentum right now. You look at the business that they're doing. You look at just how much they've changed business practices there. in WWE with the talent. Triple H, of course, having the book, him getting his team in there. We've heard nothing but fantastic, great news from behind the scenes in WWE around the same time where we started seeing a couple of these cracks in the foundation in AEW. Now, once again, you listen to what some of the talent saying over the last 30 days, and backstage has been much more professional. It's been a great place to come to work to. Now, that doesn't make a difference with TV time. I still think that Tony's got to figure out a good balance on, and I'm hoping, you guys know how I feel about Ring of Honor on AEW TV. I'm hoping when they get their own television clearance, we see this, of course, kind of subside a little bit. But, you look at it, I think we had either 2 or 3 ROH segments last night on Dynamite. That could have been the time for your Miros, for your Ricky Starks, for some of the wrestlers that we haven't seen that we know can garner a lot of attention for the company, but they just don't have enough TV time. And the answer is not a third hour of Dynamite. The answer is not a second hour of Rampage. I don't want any of that. I think they're good right where they are with 3 hours total right now of TV wrestling time per week. But like I said, I think it's a great question. I think it switches right now. Hey, gun in my head, where is the grass greener at? I would probably have to say right now, this moment, if you're talent, and say everybody's contract's up and you got a chance to go to one or the other. I think we would see more people go to WWE right now than pick to choose to go to AEW. But let's see what this looks like in 60 days or so, right?